Hey, what's happening, guys? So yeah, I'm gonna make another video or two. We'll see. Uh, so the Broner cards happened last weekend, and I guess I just felt compelled to mention a couple things. There wasn't really much to take away from those fights, as I'm sure you're all well aware. None of them were meant to be competitive, and it was really just a trio of showcase fights. Still, I think there weren't any questions answered, and it was more like there was more questions to be asked, especially with like, okay, let's take the Broner fight for instance. Clean and clear win, but the guy he was fighting was, I mean, nothing to brag about really. Would he have 6 knockouts and 20 plus fights? Um, Not that much output coming from him, and Broner was able to pretty easily walk away from that victory. What I took away from the fight was Broner still gets hit. I mean, he's lucky this guy doesn't have a KO punch, because Broner might have hit the floor a couple times in that fight. Just because wide open for a shot and eating shots. He showed flashes of being able to duck and dodge and get out of the way. But at the same time, for a good majority of those rounds, I saw a vulnerability in Broner. Now, we're aware that he's vulnerable. I mean, he's no longer undefeated, and we saw Maidana take him down, take him apart. But even on a comeback fight like this, it's still, begs the question: does he have what it takes to handle welterweight punches? Period. I mean, he made the jump pretty quick from what 135 on up to 140, 147. I don't even think he didn't even fight at 140. Did he just move straight to 147? I think. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. I just he's not defensively sound. He's a fast fighter, but I think his default mode is offensive. And not being a defensive minded fighter and getting hit even from mediocre opposition isn't going to end well when he's facing tougher opposition at that rank, or at that weight. For instance, a guy like Andre Berto, who's not that skilled himself, but has a much higher volume of punches and hits harder than, I don't even remember who the guy was at Broner fought. I don't remember his name, because I don't care. But whoever that guy was, Berto is that much better, even though he's not what you'd call a great welterweight. But that's his division. That's where he's comfortable at. And he's been in a couple wars here, and we know he's got durability, at least much more so than Broner, in my opinion. Now, say those two guys fought, and yeah, Berto's going to get hit quite a bit, but that Broner doesn't necessarily have a hard punch at welterweight. Didn't look like it from the fight I saw, not really. So Berto's going to stick around, and Berto has much harder punches than what has Broner has been able to handle so far. Or, I mean, at least from everything but Maidana. Maidana crushed him, but there's nothing saying Berto wouldn't floor him either. Now, I was pretty high on Broner when he was coming up in 135. He had a lot of promise, and I just wish he would have taken it a little bit slower coming up and hoping for that big fight. Because now he finds himself in a position where he's not necessarily ready for the weight, and he's just now probably getting really acclimated to it. It doesn't look like he has as much pop in his punches at the weight, and he doesn't look as durable. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully he can prove me wrong, because even though I think he's a fucking douchebag, I still liked him coming up. He was exciting to watch, and aside from his douchebaggery, I thought he was a good prospect to be a steady champ. But So we'll have to wait and see on Broner. Matisse, what do you want me to say? Did what he was supposed to do, and again, we'll have to see with him as well. I don't know what's up next for him. I don't know. Hopefully, he can make a comeback. It's another good, exciting fighter. Just maybe not against Garcia, because he didn't look too well there. Anything else? Anything else? No, that about wraps it up for now. Yeah, that's about all I took away from the Broner fight. And Berto and Matisse really didn't mean much either Saturday night. So, deuces.